I've been given a challenge to ride every roller coaster in Orlando, and I have to visit 8 theme parks to do it. And guess what? You're coming with me. First stop, Animal Kingdom. Expedition Everest Legend of the Forbidden Mountain isn't just a standout attraction at Disney's Animal Kingdom, it's the only roller coaster in the park. This steel coaster designed by Dutch manufacturer Vekoma is categorized as a mine train coaster and takes guests on a thrilling expedition through a 200-foot tall artificial mountain. The coaster reaches a top speed of 50 miles per hour and has a drop of 80 feet. With a ride length of 4,425 feet and a duration of 2 minutes and 50 seconds, it delivers a thrilling experience without inversions. Riders experience up to 3 Gs of force throughout the course of the ride. Vekoma, the manufacturer behind Expedition Everest, has designed other iconic Disney coasters, including Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Goofy's Barnstormer. Beyond Disney, they are responsible for popular coasters like Flight of the Hippogriff at Universal's Islands of Adventure and Woody Woodpecker's Nut House coaster at Universal Studios. The ride begins with that 112-foot chain lift hill that ascends the snowy mountain. After some twists and turns, the coaster reaches the iconic broken track section where a transfer track mechanism allows the train to switch directions. Riders fall backwards into a dark tunnel, then forward again after another switch track, encountering helices and show sections along the way. As the most expensive roller coaster ever built at the time that it was created, costing $100 million, Expedition Everest remains a marvel of engineering and theming. The Guinness Book of World Records recognized it at the time of its construction as the most expensive coaster in the world. The combination of advanced technology, compelling backstory, and thrilling elements make Expedition Everest a must-ride experience for anyone visiting Animal Kingdom, including us. Let's go right up right now. I can't talk about coasters in Animal Kingdom without special mention to Primeval Whirl, a coaster that has officially been extinct since the year 2020. Primeval Whirl was a steel wild mouse coaster located here in Dinoland, USA. The ride was manufactured by Revercon Industries and officially opened on March 31st, 2002 as part of the Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama section, the same section we're standing in right now, featured a spinning ride experience which added unpredictability to the coaster's sharp turns and drops, simulating the chaotic experience of time travel. In July 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic shutdown, Disney confirmed that Primeval Whirl would not reopen, and demolition began in 2021. And of course, we're getting ready to say goodbye to all of Dinoland USA. If everything goes according to plan, we could be looking at, right now, we could be standing in an Encanto area. And over there by the Dino Institute, well, it looks like that's getting rethemed to Indiana Jones. While Primeval Whirl may not have been the best roller coaster in Walt Disney World, it was a roller coaster nonetheless, and it deserves to get special mention in today's video. Well, that's 1 park down, 7 to go. Thanks a lot, Animal Kingdom. Seriously, that sounded weird, like I was being facetious. Thank you, Animal Kingdom. The Barnstormer, featuring the Great Goofini, may be one of Magic Kingdom's smaller coasters, but it has a unique story that brings it to a level of depth and richness in both storytelling and experience comparable to some of the most iconic rides in Disney parks. Originally opening on October 1st, 1996, this junior roller coaster was part of Mickey's Toontown Fair, a whimsical area that was an extension of Mickey's Birthday Land, which opened in 1988. With a height of 30 feet and a top speed of 25 miles per hour, the Barnstormer was not about high thrills, but instead a focus on fun, with its 678-foot track weaving riders through Goofy's makeshift farm. This made it a perfect introductory coaster, allowing young guests to gain confidence before tackling some of the park's more intense attractions. In 2011, Mickey's Toontown Fair closed to make way for the Fantasyland expansion. The Barnstormer was reimagined as part of the new Storybook Circus section, which opened here in 2012. The coaster's track remained intact, but the theme was updated to fit the circus setting, transforming into the Barnstormer featuring the Great Goofini. In this new version, Goofy takes on the role of a daredevil stunt pilot, performing in a circus complete with colorful circus tents and bold signage. Riders now board Goofy's stunt plane as he attempts one of his classic ill-fated aerial tricks. The ride's slapstick charm and approachable thrills remained, but the updated circus theme gave it a fresh, vibrant look. Although the Barnstormer remains one of the smallest roller coasters in the park, it holds a special place as a stepping stone for young adventurers. The compact track still delivers fun twists and turns, while the detailed theming continues to engage guests, making it more than just a quick thrill. Well, it's short, but sweet. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is a steel mine train roller coaster located right here in the Frontierland section of Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. This ride opened on November 15th, 1980, a year after the Disneyland version, which had opened in 1979. While not an exact clone, the Magic Kingdom version shares many similarities with its Disneyland counterpart, but is slightly larger and longer due to the different terrain and park layout. Aerodynamics, a well-known coaster manufacturer, designed and built the ride in collaboration with Disney Imagineering. At the time of its opening, it was one of only 2 thrill rides in Magic Kingdom, joining Space Mountain as another key attraction for guests seeking excitement. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad reflects the legacy of Disney's groundbreaking coaster innovations. Starting with the Matterhorn bobsleds at Disneyland in 1959, which was the first tubular steel coaster designed in collaboration with Aerodynamics and Bob Gurr. Gurr had to teach himself trigonometry to solve the engineering challenges of creating banked turns and tubular steel tracks, setting the stage for the next leap in coaster design, Space Mountain. From there, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad continued this progression by blending these engineering advancements with rich theming and storytelling. Tony Baxter, the lead Imagineer for this project. There he is, the man himself, Tony Baxter. Envisioned the ride as more than just a coaster. It was an opportunity to create an immersive adventure set in the Wild West. Baxter's approach marked a new chapter in Disney attractions where technology and narrative fully intertwined to create a seamless guest experience. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, it really is the wildest ride in the wilderness. This is the kind of Wild West version of Space Mountain, honestly. It has that sort of visceral feeling on your body that does make it thrilling. And of course, it's very important in the history of Disney parks, and it's a must ride for any coaster enthusiast or Disney Parks fan. Now, Disney recently announced that Big Thunder Mountain Railroad will temporarily close for refurbishment on January 6, 2025. The closure is expected to last until 2026. That's right. You heard it correctly. Closed. Yes, thank you. Closed for an entire year. Wow. This is gonna be interesting to see what it looks like when it's back. It may look identical and just feel really smooth and amazing, and maybe it won't be one of the herkiest, jerkiest roller coasters in all of Disney World. Space Mountain opened on January 15th, 1975. This steel roller coaster, designed by Aerodynamics, was one of the first in the world to use computers for its operating systems, making it a significant technological achievement. It was also one of the earliest indoor roller coasters ever built and became Magic Kingdom's first roller coaster. Over time, Space Mountain became one of the most famous roller coasters, eventually being cloned at 4 other Disney parks around the world. The concept for Space Mountain came after the success of Disneyland's Matterhorn bobsleds, which convinced Walt Disney that thrill rides had a place in his parks. Originally envisioned as a space voyage attraction with 4 tracks, the The technology available at the time was insufficient, and the project was shelved after Walt Disney's passing in 1966. In the late 1960s, the idea resurfaced. This time, the concept was scaled down to 2 tracks, and construction began quietly on December 15th, 1972. The ride's futuristic dome, supported by 150-foot tall pillars, began to take shape through 1973 and 1974. Space Mountain officially opened to the public on January 15th, 1975, alongside the Carousel of Progress and the Wedway People Mover, which had both previously opened in Disneyland in 1967. RCA sponsored Space Mountain from its opening until 1988. Shortly after its debut, parts of the ride were retracked to smooth out rough sections, but the ride's core design remained unchanged for many years. In October 1994, Space Mountain temporarily closed for a refurbishment as part of Tomorrowland's reimagining. During this time, FedEx became the new sponsor, and a new exit shop was added, altering the view of the original mountain structure. The ride reopened in February 1995 with a new entrance and updated queue and enhancements to the soundtrack, while the track itself remained unchanged. Plans for a major retracking of Space Mountain, including the addition of onboard audio similar to the version at Disneyland, surfaced in the mid-2000s. The Disneyland version had been refurbished in 2005 with smoother tracks, upgraded visual effects, and an onboard audio system that synchronized music to the ride experience, greatly enhancing its appeal. Space Mountain's layout consists of 2 mirrored tracks, Alpha and Omega, with Alpha being a whole 10 feet longer than Omega. Both tracks deliver a thrilling experience in complete darkness, featuring tight turns, small dips, and sudden drops to simulate a journey through space. Though the ride reaches a top speed of only 27 miles per hour, its compact turns and dark setting make it feel much faster. All right, let's go check out Space Mountain. Wow, Space Mountain. After riding so many more modern coasters today, getting on Space Mountain is definitely a blast to the past. And its thrills come from its ability to disorient and also physical chaos. Putting your body through physical chaos and disorienting you, that's the hallmark of Space Mountain. So if that sounds like a great time to you, then you're gonna love this coaster. I mean, what can I say? It's a classic, and you would really be missing out spending a day in Magic Kingdom. If you are able to ride thrill rides, if you like riding thrill rides, skipping this would be a huge mistake. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at Magic Kingdom is a steel roller coaster manufactured by Vekoma and designed by Walt Disney Imagineering. It opened in 2014 as part of the new Fantasyland expansion, replacing Snow White's Scary Adventures attraction. This family-friendly coaster reaches a top speed of 34 miles per hour with a 41-foot drop and a track length of 2,000 feet. One of the most innovative aspects of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is its unique ride system featuring rocking cars that sway from side to side. This technology was the first of its kind for Disney and adds a dynamic element to the experience. The ride's smooth transitions between indoor and outdoor sections, along with the swinging motion of the cars, create an engaging ride suitable for both thrill seekers and younger riders. Though the ride does not feature any inversions, it is a perfect balance of mild thrills and immersive theming. The dark ride portion takes guests through the Seven Dwarfs gem-filled mine, while the outdoor sections offer great views of Fantasyland. Vekoma, the coaster's manufacturer, is renowned for its work on other iconic rides across Orlando. Their portfolio includes Disney's Expedition Everest in Animal Kingdom and Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train's combination of family-friendly thrills and innovative coaster technology makes it a standout attraction at Magic Kingdom and solidifies Vekoma's reputation for creating highly customized, immersive roller coaster experiences across major Orlando theme parks.
AllEars viewer, we just met, and now we're riding Seven Dwarfs Mine Train together.
How fun was that? I didn't have to ride alone. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is a really fun ride. It's a great combination of a coaster that's just thrilling enough that you really feel it, but it's also not so thrilling that kids can't ride it, and it has all those dark ride elements. So I love this coaster. I think it has it all. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure is going to be too intense for a lot of kids, and this one is not. So I would compare those two in terms of immersion, storytelling. Truly both are story coasters with dark ride elements on a coaster track. But this one is fun for the whole family. TRON Lightcycle Run, also manufactured by Vekoma, opened in Tomorrowland at, wait a minute, Vekoma. We're talking a lot about this company, Vekoma. Who are they even? Well, let's talk about it. Vekoma, short for Verenigde Constructie Fabrieken, started in 1926 in Vlodrop, Netherlands, originally as a steel construction company. For decades, they specialized in producing steel for various industries, but by the 1960s, they saw an opportunity in the growing amusement park ride industry. With their background in steel engineering, they began transitioning into the design and manufacturing of roller coasters. Their first significant ride models appeared in the 1970s, but their breakthrough came in the 1980s with the introduction of the Boomerang roller coaster in 1984. The Boomerang was a compact shuttle coaster design that became a hit around the world with over 50 installations in theme parks. This helped establish Vekoma as a top player in the amusement industry, known for producing thrilling rides in a cost-effective and space-efficient manner. And now that we've covered that, let's get back to talking about and riding TRON Lightcycle Run. TRON Lightcycle Run opened here in Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom on April 4th, 2023. This steel motorbike coaster uses LSM, linear synchronous motors, for its high-speed launch, propelling riders to 59 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest Disney coasters. For comparison, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind holds the title of the fastest Disney coaster, reaching 60 miles per hour. Test Track at Epcot remains the fastest ride overall in Disney World, hitting 65 miles per hour, though it's not classified as a coaster. The track for TRON Lightcycle Run spans 3,169 feet, and it lasts about 60 seconds. But don't worry, it doesn't have any inversions if you're sensitive to going upside down. Vekoma worked closely with Walt Disney Imagineering to replicate the design of TRON Lightcycle Power Run from Shanghai Disneyland, which opened in 2016. The motorbike-style seating puts guests in a forward-leaning position, gripping handlebars like a light cycle, while the immersive lighting and sound effects simulate the sensation of racing through the TRON grid. The ride's sleek, illuminated canopy enhances its visual impact, especially at night. Despite its relatively short ride time, it has quickly become a fan favorite for those seeking a thrilling experience here in Magic Kingdom. Speaking of those seeking a thrilling experience, I don't know about you, but I am certainly seeking one right now. TRON Lightcycle Run. Listen, it's a great ride. If you feel uncomfortable with the cycle style seat, please feel free to use the adaptive seating that they offer on a few of the trains. I saw someone struggling to pull the bars down and close the restraints around his calves, and I really felt for him, and I wanted to go over and say, let him have the adaptive seat, but I stayed out of it. Anyway, I do love that ride. It's very short, but it gives you a lot of experience in that 1 minute. So it's definitely something you should ride in Walt Disney World or in general, if you're a coaster enthusiast, head over to Magic Kingdom and put that on your list, because you gotta ride Tron, you know? It's a new classic in the world of coasters. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is a groundbreaking roller coaster here in Epcot, manufactured by Vekoma. It opened on May 27th, 2022, and holds the distinction of being Disney's fastest coaster, with a top speed of 60.3 miles per hour, just edging out TRON Lightcycle Run at Magic Kingdom. The ride is also the longest enclosed coaster in the world, measuring 5,577 feet in length. This coaster uses LSM, linear synchronous motor launch technology, which enables its iconic reverse launch, the first of its kind in Disney parks. The ride's trains, which are equipped with spinning cars capable of rotating 360 degrees, are part of Disney's innovative OmniCoaster technology. This system allows cars to rotate smoothly during the ride, ensuring that riders are always facing key action moments during their intergalactic adventure with the Guardians. The ride is packed with dark ride elements, including synchronized onboard soundtracks. Riders are treated to one of 6 classic songs, which are randomly selected for each ride. Conga by Gloria Estefan, Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, Disco Inferno by The Tramps, I Ran So Far Away by A Flock of Seagulls, September by Earth, Wind & Fire, or One Way or Another by Blondie. This retro playlist adds to the immersive and energetic experience, making each ride feel unique depending on the music. When anyone asks me what my favorite ride in all of Walt Disney World is, I never hesitate to say Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. It's not only my favorite roller coaster, it's my favorite ride. Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith at Disney's Hollywood Studios was a significant technological innovation when it opened in 1999. Manufactured once again by Vekoma, the ride was designed with a linear induction motor, ILM, launch system, which propels guests from 0 to 57 miles per hour in just 2.8 seconds, making it one of the fastest coasters at Disney World at that time. This technology allowed for smoother and more reliable launches compared to older flywheel or compressed air systems which had been used in previous launch coasters. The coaster features 3 inversions, a sea serpent roll, which is a type of double inversion, and a corkscrew, making it one of the few Disney attractions that turn guests upside down. Riders experience up to 5 Gs during the launch, a force greater than what astronauts experience during a shuttle launch, which adds to the coaster's intensity. In addition to the LIM technology, Rock and Roller Coaster features an onboard audio system with over 900 speakers and 32,000 watts of sound, providing a synchronized soundtrack that changes depending on the ride vehicle. Aerosmith's music blasts through the ride, creating an immersive rock concert experience while speeding through neon-lit Hollywood streets. The coaster spans 3,267 feet, reaches a height of 80 feet, and lasts approximately 1 minute and 22 seconds, delivering an intense, fast-paced experience. Well, enough talk, let's rock. Sorry, is that considered a dad joke? I am of the age. Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. I'll tell you what, that is a smooth, beautiful ride. Even having opened in 1999, they recently closed it for yet another extended refurbishment, and it feels better than ever, and it looks better than ever. I'll tell you what, I think that Expedition Everest is actually harder on at least my body than this is, even though this has multiple inversions. If you're afraid of those inversions and you're thinking, oh, that's just too much for me, but you ride Expedition Everest and you're fine with going backwards and all of that weird G-force that happens, then you should give this a try. Honestly, I feel better walking off this ride than I do on Expedition Everest, and it's just such a classic. The music is so awesome. all that neon, like cool LA stuff. Slinky Dog Dash in Disney's Hollywood Studios. Manufactured by Mack Rides, chosen by Disney for this project due to their expertise in producing smooth, family-friendly roller coasters. Mack Rides has a strong reputation for creating reliable, enjoyable experiences suited for guests of all ages, making them an ideal choice for Toy Story Land at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Slinky Dog Dash features 2 linear synchronous motor launches, giving the ride an extra burst of speed while keeping it accessible to younger audiences. The coaster reaches a top speed of 40 miles per hour, fast enough to be thrilling, but still family appropriate, with a height requirement of just 38 inches. Slinky Dog Dash's track extends 1,968 feet, filled with gentle hills, banked curves, and camelback humps, designed to mimic the playful movement of a wind-up toy or of a slinky dog. Since its opening in 2018, the ride has become a popular family attraction at Hollywood Studios, often getting some of the longest wait times in the whole park, offering an immersive experience while providing approachable thrills. How totally fun. As an adult, you might say, this is a kid's ride. Why would I want to do a family coaster and wait 120 minutes for it, which is what the posted wait time was on the little sign they had leaning against the entryway. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think I'd recommend waiting that long in this line. I might get yourself a multi-pass lightning lane reservation at that point. But if you walk by and there is a 70-minute posted wait as there was today, we ended up waiting 55 minutes, and I would say it's very, very worth it. I love coming when the sun is about to set. It's a little bit cooler here in Toy Story Land. It's an outdoor queue and an outdoor coaster that makes it much more pleasant, and the experience of the ride itself is so fun. You get sort of a mild version of what you'll experience with Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, that sort of physical euphoria. You'll definitely get a little bit of that, and it'll probably feel almost exactly like that for your little kids who are just meeting that 38-inch height requirement. But anyway, a super fun family ride, and a ride that adults should consider enjoying as well. Welcome to SeaWorld Orlando. SeaWorld Orlando hasn't always been the coaster haven it is today. In the early 2000s, the park began moving away from its troubled past and started to invest heavily in thrill rides, marking a significant shift in its identity. Over the years, SeaWorld transformed itself into a must-visit destination for roller coaster enthusiasts, with a lineup that now boasts 8 coasters. That's 8 coasters in one park. This focus on high-speed thrills has helped SeaWorld stay competitive in Orlando's theme park scene, offering rides that rival some of the biggest names in the industry. Welcome to Kraken. Where'd they go? Kraken was SeaWorld Orlando's first major thrill ride, opening on June 1st, 2000, and instantly elevating the park's coaster lineup. The ride is a floorless coaster, which means riders are seated with their feet dangling freely over the track, providing an unmatched sensation of vulnerability and excitement. At the time of its debut, Kraken was the tallest, fastest, and longest floorless coaster in Florida, and it still ranks as some of the most intense coasters in the state. Standing at 153 feet tall, Kraken plunges riders into a high-speed adventure, reaching 65 miles per hour as it soars through its 4,177 feet of track. The coaster's design includes 7 inversions, starting with a massive vertical loop that immediately disorients riders after the first drop. These inversions also include a zero-gravity roll where riders experience a moment of weightlessness, and a cobra roll which combines 2 quick inversions to create intense G-forces. The ride finishes with a thrilling corkscrew, which twists riders upside down with a sharp, fast rotation, leaving them breathless by the time they return to the station. Kraken operates using the block system that allows multiple trains to run simultaneously, ensuring safety while maximizing throughput. Each block section of the track is equipped with sensors and braking systems that prevent trains from entering the same section of the track at the same time. Kraken's narrative is built around the mythical sea monster of the same name, and the theming immerses riders in an underwater world of terror and adventure. Even after more than 2 decades, Kraken remains one of the top coasters in Florida, praised for its smooth ride and intense, exhilarating design. B&M's focus on creating a thrilling yet comfortable experience is fully realized with Kraken, cementing its place as a classic and a must-ride for thrill seekers visiting SeaWorld Orlando. One tip that I want to give you about riding in these seats is that your head will get knocked around if you don't focus on keeping it in place. And the way that I do this is by pressing it firmly against the back headrests. There's a little bit of rubber on either side of you that keeps you from, really getting hurt if you knock your head around more. But if you let your head just go kind of willy-nilly, I end up hurting at the end, even from the rubber. So I always focus on keeping my head pushed back against the back headrest. All right, Kraken. It's crack-a-lackin'. I don't know. It's a great ride. There was a time in the 90s and early 2000s when I think we believed the more inversions, the merrier. I certainly thought that as a kid. I was like, why wouldn't you put the most inversions in? Why wouldn't you do the craziest things you can to the body? Well, now I'm 40, about to be 43 years old, and I feel differently about it. But I'll tell you what, this ride holds up. It's very fun if you know the trick about pushing your head against the back headrest. The gentleman sitting to my right was like, I feel like I was in a boxing match. And I was like, yeah, this ride beats you up, but there is a trick. And so I told him, and he was like, I'll always do that from now on. It really works. I don't feel like I got beat up. But I went through 7 inversions and I felt them all. Journey to Atlantis is a fascinating blend of dark ride, water ride, and roller coaster, offering riders a truly unique experience. Opening back in April 1998. Manufactured by Mack Rides, this attraction takes guests on an adventure to uncover the secrets of the legendary city of Atlantis. The ride combines beautiful practical sets and immersive sound design with thrilling drops, like that one, and roller coaster elements, making it stand out among other Orlando attractions. I don't think there's another attraction that I can think of anywhere that's like this. It's kind of weird, but in the absolute best possible way. I love this ride. The first section of Journey to Atlantis feels kind of like a classic boat dark ride, like Navi River Journey at Disney's Animal Kingdom or Pirates of the Caribbean. It begins with beautifully crafted show elements, immersive sound design, and practical sets enhanced by lighting, all working together to create a theatrical, story-driven experience. As riders glide through, the atmosphere builds the myth of Atlantis, drawing them into the city's legend. Even though some elements aren't quite as fresh as they once were, I'm kind of saying that politely, they still provide an impressive experience that could truly be stunning if restored to its original splendor. Then the ride shifts dramatically. Riders are lifted up a 95-foot hill, which makes Journey to Atlantis the tallest drop of any water ride in Orlando theme parks. For comparison, it outmatches the 85-foot drop on Jurassic Park River Adventure at Islands of Adventure, the 75-foot drop on Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls, and the 50-foot drop on Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Magic Kingdom. This impressive drop results in a massive splashdown that soaks everyone on board, literally, offering a family-friendly but exhilarating experience, and it's definitely wet. It's a perfect middle ground between Disney's and Universal's water rides in terms of intensity and the tallest in terms of sheer drop height. What makes Journey to Atlantis even more remarkable is what happens next. After the water section and splashdown, the boat transitions into a completely dry roller coaster. A lot of you are going to think I'm making this up, but we're going to show you. Gone is the water below. The boat now rides along a traditional steel coaster track, twisting and turning through tight corners at speeds of up to 42 miles per hour. The coaster section adds an additional layer of thrill as the transition from water to coaster catches many riders by surprise. I got wet, okay? Here's my tip. And it's not really a tip, it's just letting you know ahead of time that there's a rule. You've really got to put your things in a locker on this one, unless you don't mind them getting really super wet. But there's rules about how you can carry them. I always end up putting them inside my shirt so they're secured on my person. But just now I got a locker. I'm gonna venture back to the locker section and get all my stuff. That's what I would recommend. It was $4. I think it's reasonable in comparison to destroying belongings that might be sensitive to getting wet. The ambassador that loaded me onto the ride said there's about a 50-50 chance that you'll get wet on this. I got real wet. The people behind me said they didn't really get that wet at all. I was in the front row, they were in the second row and third row. So I think it's all a gamble. You should prepare to get really wet, and it's really fun in the front when you go down that really high hill, the highest in Orlando. So come over here to the lockers, grab yourself a locker, and ride that crazy ride. I love it. It's so weird. It has so many different elements. It's all over the place. I don't know, something only the 90s could have created, and I think it's such an interesting, fun, must ride at SeaWorld Orlando. Icebreaker is not only a thrilling launch coaster, but also a brilliant example of efficient ride design. Built by Premier Rides and opened in February 2022, Icebreaker features a compact layout that fits perfectly next to Bayside Stadium, a venue that hosts events like Winter Wonderland on ice during Christmas and various concerts throughout the year. The coaster's quadruple launch system and clever use of track doubling back on itself create the illusion of a longer, more complex ride despite its smaller footprint. What makes Icebreaker truly special is how it maximizes the space without compromising the thrill. Riders experience a 93-foot beyond vertical spike, launching them backwards at a 100-degree angle before switching to forward launches that propel them through airtime hills and sharp turns at speeds of up to 52 miles per hour. The coaster's design allows it to deliver intense moments of airtime and sudden changes in direction, all within a relatively short 1,900-foot track. The ride's swing launch system, which propels riders forward and backwards several times, builds momentum before sending them over the top hat and beyond vertical spike. This layout is custom designed by Premier Rides, known for creating compact coasters that deliver high thrills in smaller spaces. The track design allows Icebreaker to fit into a smaller area that might not have accommodated a traditional coaster with a more sprawling layout. One thing to keep in mind is the tight seating configuration. It's really tight once you get into the loading portion of your experience. If you're sitting in the seat, the far seat, they're 2x2, then you're gonna have to maneuver a very cumbersome set of things. I don't even know what they are, but once you get it, it's like you have a whole control station in there, even though all it is a seat. So I have a very hard time getting into this comfortably, and then once it closes on your legs, there is no room for movement. You can't move your legs at all. This is so amazing to me how this ride works. Here on the loading platform, you're actually moved over to the track itself where the ride occurs by this system that does it mechanically. It brings you over and then lines you up with the track right there. And that's how you start to ride. It's really weird the first time you experience it, but it's a very, very cool feature of this ride that's not necessarily based on experience. It's more about that elegant footprint. very, very smart. Icebreaker is a cool roller coaster. It's not like anything else I've ever ridden before. The way that it's designed is so ingenious. The fact that you reuse track and how they move you from the loading area into the actual track itself is so amazing. And I love rocking back and forth and building the momentum to get over that hill. It's cool. You definitely got to collect this one in your experiences of riding roller coasters in Orlando and really anywhere. Penguin Trek, the newest coaster in SeaWorld Orlando. It just opened. Penguin Trek, which opened in July 2024 at SeaWorld Orlando, is a family-friendly launch coaster designed by B&M. This marks SeaWorld's first family launch coaster, featuring 2 linear synchronous motor launches that propel riders smoothly through a chilly Antarctic landscape at speeds of up to 43 miles per hour. Although designed with families in mind, the ride's quick launches and sharp curves add a surprising level of thrill. If you've experienced Slinky Dog Dash at Disney's Hollywood Studios, like we just did a little bit earlier, the sensation is quite similar, actually. It's smooth transitions, bursts of speed, and excitement that are fun without being too intense. Much like Slinky Dog Dash, Penguin Trek features 2 launches, giving the ride a fast-paced, energetic feel. The track covers 3,020 feet and reaches a height of 65 feet, blending indoor and outdoor sections for a ride that's both thrilling and immersive. Families who enjoy Slinky Dog Dash will likely find a similar level of enjoyment here, though Penguin Trek offers its own unique Antarctic twist. So you're not getting the Toy Story intellectual property, which might be a huge selling point for your family. While the theming doesn't quite reach Disney's level of detail, it's impressive by SeaWorld standards. They have all the different departments here. Look at this: veterinary, staff dorms, ornithology, vehicle hangar, mission base dispatch. There's the staff dorms. This is so much more theming than I would expect from SeaWorld. Penguin Trek, I love you. What a fun addition to the coaster landscape here in SeaWorld Orlando. I didn't know I wanted a Slinky Dog Dash about penguins, but guess what? We got one, and it's fun. It's not going to give you all of the mega thrills that some of the other rides in this park will give you, but it's going to give your family a really fun time together. And honestly, that first launch gets me every time. So it really is thrilling, even though it's more gentle than some of the other rides here. Super Grover's Boxcar Derby is the perfect first coaster for young thrill seekers here in SeaWorld. Located here in the colorful Sesame Street land, which opened in 2019. Manufactured by Zamperla, a well-known name in the amusement industry, this family-friendly coaster is tailored to young guests and their families. Zamperla has a strong history of creating rides for family-oriented parks, including a variety of attractions for Disney parks, making them an ideal partner for this children's coaster. The ride is themed around Grover from Sesame Street, who transforms into his superhero alter ego, Super Grover. As Super Grover, he dons his iconic helmet, cape, and chest emblem as he tries to save the day, often with hilarious results. Standing proud at 24 feet tall, with a top speed of 27 miles per hour, which, fun fact, is actually the same speed as Space Mountain. Yes, you are getting the same speed thrill here on Super Grover as you are on Space Mountain. So I rode this with my cousin and her small children. I rode alone in a seat, and there's a little notch that's on the seat that I believe is intended to just keep kids in place on one side or other of the seat. But having to sit in the middle, I would just say that look at me in the eyes and understand why it was uncomfortable. All right, back to the video. Compared to other family coasters like Barnstormer at Magic Kingdom, which has enough charm and mild thrills to appeal to adults as well, Super Grover's Boxcar Derby is squarely aimed at kids. The bright colors, playful boxcar theme, vehicles, and overall Sesame Street theming make it a standout attraction for children. But it doesn't offer the same kind of thrill that would draw older riders. I'm riding it today for the sake of this video. I'm riding it alone without my cousin and her kids. I'm embarrassed. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, but this isn't something I would recommend you budget time for in your day here if you don't have small children with you. All right, thrilling in all the wrong ways for me, and probably you too, if you're an adult who's watching this video. The ride becomes about the discomfort and tensing my legs to try to control my place in the seat, to sort of manage, mitigate, just, you know, it hurts. So this is great for kids. Like I said in the intro, I'm doubling, tripling down on the pain factor for adults, and I'm saying go ahead and skip this one if you can. That's I've never said that about a ride before, ever. But skip this ride if you can. Mako at SeaWorld Orlando isn't just any roller coaster. It's the tallest, fastest, and longest coaster in Orlando. Standing at an impressive 200 feet, this hypercoaster is manufactured by B&M, and opening on June 10th, 2016, it quickly became a favorite for thrill seekers. Named after one of the fastest sharks in the ocean, Mako is designed to give riders the sensation of speeding through the water. At 73 miles per hour, Mako is Orlando's fastest coaster. With over 4,760 feet of track, it's also the longest coaster in the area, taking riders on a soaring journey around SeaWorld's Central Lagoon. The ride is all about airtime, providing the feeling of near weightlessness as riders crest over 9 major hills. The first drop alone plunges 200 feet straight down, delivering an instant adrenaline rush. The key to Mako's smooth ride experience is B&M's box section track design, which minimizes vibrations and allows for a fast, fluid experience. The layout balances speed and comfort, avoiding jarring transitions. I call it elegant. I guess that's the word that I use to describe that technical reality. From the moment the train leaves the lift hill, the ride delivers non-stop thrills. Non-stop. I mean, literally non-stop. It hasn't stopped since we've gotten here. And we can't stop, won't stop. We don't want it to stop. Can I say stop one more time? Because that's the opposite of what I want. So start! Now, I'm not totally sure what makes USA Today the expert in roller coasters in America, but they consistently vote Mako the #1 coaster in the country. So not only just Orlando, and think about that. There's a lot of legendary coasters in this country, and this one they say is #1. Pipeline's Surf Coaster is one of the most innovative additions to SeaWorld Orlando, opening in May 2023. Manufactured by B&M, this coaster is the world's first surf coaster model, a ride concept nearly a decade in development. The vision for Pipeline came from SeaWorld's desire to blend their oceanic theme with a cutting-edge thrill experience, leading to the creation of a coaster that mimics the sensation of riding waves. Standing at 110 feet tall, Pipeline uses a linear synchronous motor launch system, marking a significant departure from B&M's traditional chain lift designs. LSM technology allows the train to accelerate smoothly and rapidly from 0 to 60 miles per hour as soon as it leaves the station, offering riders an immediate adrenaline rush. This launch system, coupled with the standing ride position, creates a new dynamic for coaster enthusiasts who are used to seated or traditional standing rides. What makes Pipeline truly unique is its surfboard-style platform and standing position. This concept required extensive engineering and testing by B&M to ensure rider comfort while maintaining the thrill of the ride. Each rider is secured with an innovative harness system which allows for a slight up and down motion during the ride, simulating the feeling of catching and riding ocean waves. This movement adds a fluid, almost playful sensation throughout the ride, a feature that sets Pipeline apart from other coasters. The standout feature is the wave curl inversion, a smooth corkscrew element that gives riders the sensation of rolling through a breaking wave. The coaster's design process faced several challenges, particularly in perfecting the standing position and movement mechanics. B&M's engineers spent years refining the platform system to ensure that the slight movements wouldn't create discomfort, but would instead enhance the experience. The trains themselves are a marvel of precision, featuring 6 cars per train, with 2 riders per car seated in 2 rows, allowing a total of 24 riders per train. The polyurethane wheels, known for providing a smooth, low-friction ride, also contribute to the coaster's quiet and fluid motion. Overall, Pipeline adds a fresh dimension to SeaWorld's coaster lineup. It's an immersive experience that blends innovation with B&M's engineering excellence, offering riders a thrilling and unique wave riding sensation unlike anything else in the world. Pipeline. Unfortunately, I was unable to wear the chest harness and film with the GoPro, so I don't have any ride footage for you of the ride that we just took, but I can still tell you all about it. And let me just say that if Super Grover was a concern, that this is a 911 call. You're in a seat that is you're standing, but sometimes you get lifted off the air quite a lot actually during the ride, and you are suspended by basically what is a bicycle seat. And you're up there for a lot of the ride, up and down, and it's fun. It's definitely an experience. It's cool to be on a surfboard and have that kind of like surf feeling, sort of. But if you are at all concerned about how I described the seat, you could go ahead and skip it. And there are obviously so many other amazing roller coasters here at SeaWorld Orlando. You won't be missing anything. The wait was longer than the other coasters. It's definitely a newer coaster. It's last year's new coaster, 2023. So it's still hot and new and a novelty. It's definitely something that I skip when I'm here attending, just having fun by myself. And I just ride Mako over and over and over again. I love Mako so much. And I hardly ever do Pipeline, but it was fun to do it again. Sorry I couldn't get footage of it. That's a great learning experience. Their restraint doesn't accommodate a chest harness for filming. So now we all know. Now we all know everything. We know a little too much about each other, maybe. Thanks to the ride vehicles of SeaWorld Orlando. Manta at SeaWorld is one of the most thrilling and visually striking coasters in the park, combining an exhilarating ride experience with immersive theming. Opened in 2009 and designed by B&M, Manta is a flying coaster, which means riders are suspended beneath the track, simulating the sensation of flight. What sets Manta apart from other coasters at SeaWorld is its ability to blend both thrills and this cool aquatic theme, making it an experience unlike any other. You might actually get a little wet depending on where you're sitting. Sometimes my legs get splashed. It's that immersive. As soon as you approach Manta, you're enveloped in its ocean-inspired setting. The queue takes you through a beautifully designed aquarium with manta rays and other sea life swimming in tanks that surround you. It sets the mood perfectly for what's about to come, an adventure through the sky and sea. The coaster's track features an ocean blue color scheme mimicking the flow of water, while the manta-shaped ride vehicles add to the immersive theme. Riders are placed in a prone position, facing downwards as the train slowly ascends the 140-foot lift hill. From there, Manta plunges into a series of thrilling maneuvers, including 4 inversions, a pretzel loop, an inline twist, a corkscrew, and a zero-gravity roll. The pretzel loop is especially intense as it flips riders head over heels while they remain in the flying position, creating powerful G-forces. Manta reaches speeds of up to 56 miles per hour along its 3,359 feet of track, and the layout features several near-miss elements, including water features that give the sensation of diving in and out of the ocean. The coaster's smooth, sweeping turns and unique flying position make the experience exhilarating without being overly rough, a hallmark of B&M coasters. I'm gonna be really honest with you right now that I've actually made a promise to myself I'm never gonna make myself ride this ever again, even though we're gonna ride it right now together so I can show you the ride and talk about it. But because of the position that you're in, if you get stuck on this ride for any period of time, which I've now had happen twice, once for about 10 minutes, once for about 15 minutes, because sometimes you'll end up getting stuck waiting to re-enter the loading area after you've already ridden the ride, and you're waiting for people ahead of you to get off the ride and also to board it and get strapped in. So sometimes it takes longer than other times, and I have had to sit on this for a very long time, strapped by my chest and stomach, hanging, staring straight down at the ground, which is a very uncomfortable position. And sometimes I might have a little bit of a panic episode. I'm not gonna say full panic attack, but if you're prone to those, or if you have pain in your body that sounds like it would be exasperated by it, you should probably not ride this ride as well.
Hi, it's me, Breedlove. I just wanted to say what's up. I'm hanging on my chest. I'm not going to talk about it.
Manta for me is a juxtaposition of pure bliss. Literally the feeling of flight. I feel like I'm an angel when I'm flying on this ride. And then once you pull back into the area before you get back to the loading area and you're hanging there by your chest, it truly is terror. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm a person that experiences extreme amounts of anxiety and panic over certain things. And I take medication for it and I do therapy for it, and I'm in good shape in that way. This ride for me is that trigger. It gets me there, and I don't get there very often anymore. So it's a no for me. It's a yes for you if you can do it, because it feels great while you're riding. I just have to start by saying Fun Spot is currently playing Phantom of the Opera. Do you hear Christine? I love it already. Oh my gosh. Fun Spot Orlando was established in 1997 and has built its reputation on a staple of old-fashioned amusement park fun in the heart of the city. Originally starting with just go-karts and a small collection of rides, Fun Spot has expanded over the years, becoming a family-friendly destination known for its laid-back atmosphere and budget-friendly entertainment. With retro-style rides like you might find at a county fair, makes it a unique spot compared to the larger, more polished theme parks in Orlando. The park has managed to carve out a niche for itself by embracing its nostalgic feel, offering attractions that range from go-karts and bumper cars to thrill rides like White Lightning, Freedom Flyer, and a fun kids roller coaster called Serpent. While it may not have the grandeur of Disney or Universal, its affordability, minimal wait times, and classic vibes, that's why I love it so much, make it a favorite for locals like me and tourists looking for a more relaxed day out. Over time, Fun Spot has expanded to include not just the Orlando location, but also a sister park in Kissimmee and another in Atlanta. However, its Orlando park remains the original and most iconic, providing visitors with that quintessential carnival atmosphere and a refreshing break from the high-tech, fast-paced theme parks surrounding it. White Lightning stands out for a major reason. It's the only wooden roller coaster in all of Orlando. This fact alone sets it apart in a city where sleek, high-speed steel coasters dominate, while White Lightning offers riders a completely different experience, blending the raw thrills of a traditional roller coaster with modern coaster design. giving visitors the opportunity to feel the unique physicality and energy that wooden coasters are known for. Built by Great Coasters International, GCI, and opening in 2013, White Lightning was a key moment for Fun Spot Orlando, marking the park's transition towards more thrilling attractions. It might have a compact footprint, but the coaster maximizes its space with a 69-foot lift hill and 2,032 feet of track filled with airtime hills, banked turns, and rapid transitions. Riders reach speeds of 48 miles per hour, feeling every bump and drop as the coaster's wooden structure adds an unpredictable and exciting element to the experience. One of the key elements of White Lightning's design is the use of GCI's Millennium Flyer trains. There they are right there, which are specially designed to handle the twists and turns of wooden tracks more smoothly than traditional trains. This makes for a more comfortable ride without losing the charm of a wooden coaster. In 2020, Titan Track was added to certain sections, further enhancing the ride's longevity and smoothing out some of the rougher spots while maintaining the classic wooden feel. This hybrid approach, combining the nostalgic qualities of wooden coasters with the smoothness of steel, gives White Lightning a unique standing in the Orlando coaster scene. Wow. As I just told the gentleman that was helping us unload off the ride, I'm riding every roller coaster in Orlando, and this one lets you have it. It's wild. The wildest ride in the wilderness? White Lightning! Here's Freedom Flyer, which is unfortunately temporarily closed for maintenance, as this sign says. It was damaged in the recent hurricane, and they don't know when it's gonna open up. So I did want to just at least give it a shout out. It is, of course, one of the roller coasters, an impressive looking roller coaster of Orlando. Sea Serpent is a family-friendly steel coaster that was originally built by E&F Myler Industries and operated at Playland's Castaway Cove in New Jersey from 1997 to 2012. It was relocated to Fun Spot Orlando in 2013, where it continues to provide a mild coaster experience suitable for younger riders. Coaster features a compact oval-shaped track with bunny hills reaching a modest height of 15 feet and a total track length of 300 feet. While Sea Serpent is an ideal introductory coaster for families, it can be compared to a similar ride in the area, Super Grover's Boxcar Derby, which we rode over at SeaWorld. Both coasters cater to younger guests, but Super Grover's Boxcar Derby is a bit larger in scale. Overall, Sea Serpent provides a gentle ride for younger children and families looking for an accessible roller coaster. Listen, Sea Serpent is thrilling. I was scared again. There is real fear. They feel old-fashioned, and you get the sense that time has passed and more technology, of course, has gone into making rides, and that makes things smoother and gives you the feeling of more stability and safety, even if they're completely equal in the amount of safety they provide. They feel that way. So Sea Serpent gives me that vibe, like, is this okay? Is the whole track gonna fall over? But we were completely safe. It was really, it was a short ride, but it was really fun, especially for all the kids that were on it. I know that the kids really, truly enjoyed themselves on that. Overall, I can't say enough good things about Fun Spot Orlando. It is a trip. I live so close to here, and I've never been until just this week when I came to do some research, and I've been having a great time visiting here, and this is gonna be a place that I bring people when they're in town. What do you wanna do? I used to take them to Disney resorts to eat in a restaurant. Now I'm gonna take them to Fun Spot. You don't have to buy a park ticket to get in. If we wanna ride a ride, we can buy one a la carte, and there's food, there's drink, a really interesting, fun atmosphere. I love Fun Spot Orlando. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure opened in June 2019 here in Islands of Adventure. It replaced Dragon Challenge and quickly became one of the park's most popular attractions. Universal's creation of the wizarding world of Harry Potter marked a pivotal moment for theme parks, offering a fully immersive experience with extraordinary attention to detail. The ride itself, manufactured by Intamin, features 7 launches, the most of any coaster worldwide at the time of opening, a 65-foot backward spike, and a 17-foot vertical drop, all set in the meticulously designed Forbidden Forest, which includes over 1,200 real trees. Universal's success with Harry Potter came after Disney's earlier negotiations to build Harry Potter attractions in the Magic Kingdom, and they fell through. Disney had concerns over the scale and the need to accommodate large crowds, which conflicted with the immersive and intimate vision J.K. Rowling had in mind. Universal ultimately agreed to these creative demands, which allowed them to build a smaller, detail-oriented setting that makes the wizarding world of Harry Potter feel true to the books and films. Although the ride faced technical difficulties in the early months after it opened, it has since stabilized and remains one of Universal's most thrilling and rewritable experiences, combining groundbreaking coaster technology with immersive storytelling. Wow, I can't believe it. I just rode Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventures for the first time in 2 years, and I had started to kind of take the concept of this ride for granted, especially after Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind opened, and immediately became what I consider to be my favorite ride and my favorite story coaster. But I'm having real second thoughts now, having just ridden this again. Those 7 launches are really amazing because they don't go from 0 to whatever speed each one gets us to. They actually happen, a lot of them, in the midst of our movement. We're already going at a certain speed, and then all of a sudden we'll go over 3 of the little panels that kind of sit up in the middle, and each one will take us faster as we go, and it's just so smooth and so seamless and so beautiful. Jurassic World Velocicoaster opened in June 2021 here at Universal's Islands of Adventure, and it quickly became one of the most intense and immersive coasters here at the resort. Designed by Intamin, the ride features 2 high-speed launches, the second of which propels guests to 70 miles per hour in just 2.4 seconds. This coaster boasts a towering 155-foot top hat, followed by an 80-degree drop, and the track spans over 4,700 feet. Riders experience 4 inversions, including the breathtaking Mosasaurus roll over water, creating a sense of weightlessness. The Jurassic Park franchise has been a key part of Universal's theme park since the 1996 opening of Jurassic Park The Ride in Hollywood, which led to the creation of Jurassic Park River Adventure at Universal's Islands of Adventure in 1999. With the release of the Jurassic World films, Universal began upgrading its attractions, leading to the creation of the Jurassic World Velocicoaster. The ride is themed around the Jurassic World films, placing riders in a high-speed chase with velociraptors Blue, Charlie, Delta, and Echo. Universal Creative paid close attention to detail, incorporating animatronic raptors in the queue and story-driven elements that heighten the immersive experience. Guests also encounter lifelike effects, including the sensation of raptors breathing, which makes the ride feel even more authentic. Well, that was a lot. It was fun. It hurt me. My body felt a lot of pain during this ride. I'm trying to think any other ride that made me, any other coaster that made me feel that so far. I have a feeling we'll be experiencing more of that with Hulk and Ride Rockit today, but oh my gosh, look at this, it's happening. I'm in heaven now, here in Universal Islands of Adventure. I'm going to be in heaven now, and This is where I am now forever as a spirit. The Incredible Hulk coaster has been a centerpiece of Islands of Adventure since the park's opening in 1999. And in 2016, it underwent a major refurbishment that elevated both its technical prowess and storytelling elements. Originally designed by B&M, the ride has always been known for its exhilarating launch system, which propels riders from 0 to 40 miles per hour in just 2 seconds using a rare tire propulsion system. This system is unique because, unlike more common magnetic or hydraulic launches, it uses motorized tires to accelerate the train. The tires grip the bottom of the train and propel it forward at an incredible speed. The launch sends riders directly into a 0G roll, one of 7 inversions on the 3,700-foot track. Reaching speeds of up to 67 miles per hour, the ride includes loops, cobra rolls, and corkscrews, creating a high-energy experience. Sometimes high energy just means it hurts. I'm sorry, I'm saying that before the ride. I'm scared now. During that 2016 refurbishment, the entire track was rebuilt while keeping the layout intact. This overhaul also introduced sleek new ride vehicles equipped with LED lighting and onboard audio, enhancing both the visual and auditory experience for riders. In addition to the track and train updates, the control systems were modernized to ensure a smoother and more reliable operation. Yes, the ride's famous intensity was preserved, but the experience was made even more immersive through these technical upgrades. The storyline was also revamped in 2016. Riders now enter a high-tech military facility where General Thaddeus Ross is conducting gamma radiation experiments in an attempt to harness the power of the Hulk. Of course, the experiment goes wrong, and riders are launched into chaos, experiencing firsthand the uncontrollable power of the Hulk. The new theming includes a refreshed queue with enhanced special effects, lighting, and sound design. The launch sequence is highlighted by flashing green lights and synchronized audio, creating the sensation that guests are part of Ross's failed experiment. Wow. Well, I had to put everything. You have to put everything in the walker before you can even get in a queue. All right, so there was nothing to film, unfortunately, inside. I had no ability to do that, but I will tell you, the queue looks awesome. That 2016 refurbishment that happened, they really focused on storytelling, and they did a lot in the queue, and it looks great. It's very immersive and very cool. The ride itself, I have to say, it was less painful to me than Velocicoaster. For some reason, the tightness of the track's footprint on that ride, everything has to happen in a smaller area. This ride's so huge, it takes up so much space that when you're inverting, you've got the space to kind of make it feel more graceful and elegant. And it's not as hard on my body personally. There was a time when when I was trying to press my head back against the headrest, and I ended up doing one of these. I could not believe it. And I was like, do I have access to my brain now? And luckily, I seem to have at least as much as I did before, which isn't saying much. But anyway, I did like this. I liked it a lot. I would do this more often than I would Velocicoaster. I'm so sorry to all the Velocicoaster fans. Let this tell you who I am as a coaster fan, and you can decide to disagree with me. Hopefully it is useful to have the information, know what these rides are, so that when you're in Orlando, you can make the right choices. Breedlove said Hulk was painful, but not as painful as Velocicoaster. I'm gonna love it. Let's ride it. Flight of the Hippogriff is a junior steel coaster that first opened in 2000 as the Flying Unicorn, later rethemed in 2010 to align with the wizarding world of Harry Potter, Hogsmeade. Manufactured by Vekoma, the coaster reaches a height of 42.7 feet and speeds of 28.5 miles per hour, Again, just about the same as Space Mountain, offering a gentle, family-friendly ride lasting just over a minute. I don't think I've ever been this close to a coaster track in a queue for the coaster in my life. The ride's story revolves around Hagrid teaching riders how to approach a hippogriff properly. Guests bow to an animatronic hippogriff before embarking on their test flight over the Forbidden Forest and around Hagrid's hut, immersing them in the magical world of Harry Potter. When compared to a ride like Slinky Dog Dash at Disney's Hollywood Studios, both rides aim to entertain younger audiences, but the experiences do differ. Slinky Dog Dash takes riders through Andy's backyard in a playful, fast-paced adventure, launching up to speeds of 40 miles per hour, making it more dynamic. Flight of the Hippogriff, on the other hand, focuses on the scenic and immersive elements of the Harry Potter universe, providing a quieter, magical journey perfect for those seeking a relaxed yet enchanting experience with just a touch of thrill. Flight of the Hippogriff, what a fun family coaster. Seriously, I think it's a hybrid kind of feel between something like Barnstormer and something more exciting like Slinky Dog Dash. It's definitely not the same as either one. Exactly. It's like a nice hybrid, which I really love. I think this is great. Oh my gosh, so many people will enjoy this. It's not going to give you the thrills that you're looking for if you are an intense thrill seeker who loves a ride like Velocicoaster, but if you want something fun to ride with your kids and all have a really good time, I mean, it was really fun. I was really I was surprised by how much I liked it. I'm gonna get a reputation for being a family coaster lover, and you know what? I'm okay with that. You can tell me all about how I'm a wimp in the comments below. Hollywood Ride Rockit stands out at Universal Studios Florida, not only for its extreme thrills, but also for the unique way it allows riders to personalize their experience. Opened in August 2009, the ride's concept feels like a direct response to Disney's Rocket roller coaster, which debuted at Hollywood Studios in July 1999. Both rides center around the fusion of music and high-speed thrills, but while Rocket Roller Coaster focuses on Aerosmith, Ride Rockit takes it up a notch by letting each rider select their own soundtrack from a touchpad built into their seats. The ride begins with an extreme vertical lift hill reaching a height of 167 feet, immediately putting riders on the edge as they anticipate the steep drop that follows. At speeds of up to 65 miles per hour, Ride Rockit throws you through an array of twists and turns, including the notable double take, non-inverting loop, and the treble clef, where the track spirals around a massive musical symbol. One of the most unique features of the ride is the secret song menu. By holding down the ride's logo for 10 seconds on the music selection screen, you can unlock a hidden keypad and enter codes for secret tracks. A couple of highlights include the Muppets Movin' Right Along, which is code 901, and a Rainbow Connection, which is code 902. An unexpected inclusion for a Universal ride, given that the Muppets are a Disney property. This cross-company use of music likely stems from licensing agreements that predate Disney's acquisition of the Muppets in 2004, allowing for this quirky musical crossover. Another offbeat track available on the secret menu is Modest Mussorgsky's Night on Bald Mountain, which is code 904, which adds an eerie classical twist to the ride's adrenaline rush. Maybe I'll have to try that one this time. Did I say I was riding this right now? After all the other coasters we've ridden, the most intense in my memory? I did say that, yes. Let's get a locker. Oh my gosh, you'll never believe this. I have no proof. I just rode it twice in a row. The first time the audio wasn't working, it wasn't even giving me the option to select a song on the screen pad. So at the end I said, is it over? Is there no longer music on this? Am I going to heaven again? What is this day? Now I live in in Universal Studios. So it didn't even give me the option to select. Nothing happened when I hit the screen. So I asked at the end, I said, is there a change? Is there no longer music played on Ride Rockit? And I was told that music is definitely still played, and the audio visual was probably down on my train. So he said, do you want to ride it again? And I was like, I probably should, because I need to have this whole experience so I can talk about it. So he sent me over a little bridge and let me ride it, trying to pick the best way to get to where we're going next, which I'm excited by. And it started to rain a little bit. It looks... It's a rainbow. Well, I tried to pick Rainbow Connection, and I didn't have my phone with me because I had to put everything in a locker, and I forgot to check right before, even though I just said it in my spiel. And I got it wrong, and I picked 302 instead of a 902. 902 is Rainbow Connection. 302 is I Want You Back by the Jackson 5, which was so fun. And I had a great time. But right now, it's like Jim Henson is saying, it's okay. You tried, you rode it twice, you really gave it a shot to hear Rainbow Connection while riding this monster. You rode it twice in a row, you're 42, about to turn 43. Everything's gonna be okay. You're a coaster champ, Breedlove. Oh, and how was the ride? Well, it was great. A lot better the second time, which is saying something because it was really intense to do that twice. But I will tell you, the music makes that ride. I was semi-miserable the first time. It's really raining now. It took it out of me. I mean, riding it twice, it's a lot. It's a lot on the brain. There's a period where I see sparkles and kind of start to black out a little bit. But I had a lot of fun once the music turned on. And I Want You Back with, oh, baby, give me one more chance. Show you that I love you. It was like such a fun vibe to like be tortured to. Revenge of the Mummy is packed with impressive technical features that set it apart from many other coasters. One of the most striking effects is the ceiling that actually catches fire during the ride. As riders make their way through, the fireball effect lights up the ceiling, creating intense heat that riders can feel. This effect is achieved by carefully controlled bursts of fire, adding a sense of danger to the immersive environment. The development of Revenge of the Mummy was an ambitious project for Universal, blending traditional coaster elements with dark ride features. The ride was developed as part of Universal's push to create more immersive experiences. Especially the integration of physical effects like flames and moving set pieces was a major focus. Universal collaborated with several special effects teams to ensure that the ride would offer both physical thrills and thematic immersion. The ride features multiple ride systems, including the use of linear induction motors for the launch sequence, which gives it the speed and intensity of a coaster while also allowing for precise control over the timing of the effects and the scene. Universal Studios' goal was to create a ride that was more than just a roller coaster, and with a combination of dark ride elements, pyrotechnics, and cutting-edge ride technology, Revenge of the Mummy delivers a unique and thrilling experience that has made it a fan favorite since it opened all the way back in 2004. Revenge of the Mummy. Oh my gosh, this ride's awesome. It's very intense. Okay, the themes in it are, you know, like the end of the ride, basically, the mummy looks at you and says, death is only the beginning, all right? So we're not talking Slinky Dog Dash. This ride is so good. It's so crazy. It's not gonna be for everybody. I mean, thematically, this is my biggest concern, is that it really is so dark. You know, if that's not the way you live your life, taking in that sort of content, then this is not the ride for you. Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts is here in Diagon Alley, and it's been wowing guests since its opening on July 8th, 2014. This 3D dark ride and coaster hybrid takes guests on a thrilling adventure through Gringotts Bank, blending practical sets with heavy reliance on 3D projection technology. Riders board enchanted bank carts, and what begins as a heist quickly turns into a perilous escape from Bellatrix Lestrange, Lord Voldemort, and the Ukrainian Ironbelly Dragon. While this ride is celebrated for its immersive storyline and intense special effects, it does have its critics. While the combination of motion simulators and physical coaster elements provide a dynamic experience, some guests feel this attraction leans too heavily on screens. The 3D projections, which depict key moments like troll attacks and dragon fire, are central to the experience, requiring guests to wear 3D glasses. For some, particularly those who wear prescription glasses, this can distract from the immersion. This balance between virtual and practical elements is very common here in Universal, and it's a big discussion point, but for most, the attraction's immersive qualities and thrilling narrative more than make up for its reliance on screen technology. I loved that ride, and it works. It works more than I remember it working. The screens, I think this is the best kind of screen integration, 3D integration into a ride that I've experienced. I think it's better than any kind of screen-based ride in Disney in terms of the way you are fully immersed into a scene, and it doesn't make you feel like you're watching a movie. It makes you feel like you're watching real people. So I know there's so much complaining about screens and Universal. Why is everything a screen now, and all of that, and it's totally valid. I'm with you. I would say this is the best that it is done. This is Universal screens at their absolute best, number one best, no question, where I'm concerned. All right, we have seen it all, we've done it all, and I definitely have thoughts. I just want to wrap this up based on my personal experience, and hopefully you've learned enough about me over the course of this video to decide if you agree with me or if you feel even remotely the same way. And I'm saying feel as in physically. If things hurt you, then you and I have a lot in common. If you're younger, if things don't hurt you, you're in great shape and everything's great with your body, then maybe you and I have very different opinions, and that's great. I love that for you. I love there should be more things that are fun for us, not less. So I hope the case is that everything's fun for you. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. And now go watch me test wait times in Disney World. Are they lying? I don't know. You have to watch the video to find out.